What's going on, everyone? Burbank Aviation here, and welcome back to another video. Today we have the August 2023 Charleston International Airport update for you guys. We have a lot to go over in today's video with returning seasonal routes, new routes starting up next month, and all sorts of stuff to go over. Hope you guys enjoy, and anyways, let's just get started. So we're going to start right on over here with the beautiful Southwest 77 Max 8 in the Canyon Blue Retro livery. This guy just arrived in from, what's a good one to start it off with? We'll start it with Chicago Midway. That is now a 2 daily fully throughout the week. We were getting a just 1 daily flight on Sundays. Now we're getting 2 daily throughout the entire week. So nice to see that we're getting some more consistency in here. So he just arrived in from there, and he'll be continuing on over to Dallas Love Field. The Southwest 77-800 here is in the Heart 1 livery for us today. He's going to be heading on over to St. Louis after arriving in from Houston. Both those are our seasonal services that are starting up here in the late summer. Hopefully they'll go in through the fall. Both weekend only, Saturday, Sundays. So very nice to see that those seasonal services are finally back. The JetBlue A220-300, making its first appearance in any airport update here, is going to be making the nonstop service on over to Boston on the turnaround, finally getting some realistic aircraft in here, as the A220 does operate on that route. Meanwhile, the A321 does not fly out of here at all, so finally getting some realism on that route. Those A220s operate on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, one of the 2 daily flights heading out to Boston for us. The Allegiant A319 is currently here in Gate 8, and he's going to be heading on over to, let me find my Allegiant routes, there we go. This guy's going to be heading on over to Cincinnati after arriving in from Columbus Rickenbacker. Both those are a 2-weekly A319. Cincinnati is getting a couple A320s every now and then. Both 2-weekly, though, on Sundays and Thursdays, so those are both very nice services. Unfortunately, it was, what service was it? Indianapolis did stop, or that was one of our seasonal services. That is stopped. So looking forward, I think it was in February or March when that started up. So looking forward to see those return again next year. As far as I know, they don't operate until from I'm pretty sure they operate from March to July is when that service operates. So looking forward to see them again. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be back until next year, but hopefully we can see them even sooner. The Frontier A320neo in the Hop of the Prairie Dog livery is currently docked up here in Gate B10. This guy's going to be making the nonstop turnaround service out to Philadelphia, one of our 2 weekly services out there on the A320neo. Very nice service we have there, and super glad to see that Frontier's just barely holding on here. Would not like to see them go. The Southwest 77-700 here is in the Canyon Blue livery for us today. He's going to be taxiing out to the runway for the flight on over to Denver after arriving in from Baltimore. Denver is a 1 daily service. Meanwhile, Baltimore is a 3 daily, even getting 4 daily in on those Saturdays. The American A320 here is currently taxiing out to the runway as well. He's going to be making one of 4, one of 3 daily services out to Philadelphia. 3 daily mainly, except on Tuesdays and Wednesdays we're getting 2 daily. A320 only getting these 1 a week on Saturdays, but we are still getting them in, so I do want to put it in. Mainly A319s, and then a CRJ 900 gets done in there on Saturday as well. Speaking of the CRJ 900, we have one right here. Probably not going to get this. Is probably going to be the best shot I get. This guy's currently pulling in TK Bravo 9 here after arriving in from, we'll say, Washington Reagan on the turnaround service. There we go. That's a very nice and strong service. 5 daily flights out to Washington Reagan, and they've been doing very well with that service. The American Eaton 5 is currently flying with us for Envoy today. This guy just arrived in from Miami, and he's going to continue on over to Chicago here, one of 2 daily flights. We are getting... Miami is one of 2 daily flights, as we are also getting A319, and then Chicago here is just a 1 daily with that A319 coming in on Saturdays. So very nice job right there by American Airlines. And the 77-800 is currently coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth. He's going to be heading on over to Charlotte. Dallas stayed the same. as last month. 4 dailies on Sunday through Friday, and then Saturday getting 5 daily, throwing in a bunch of stuff, and even send 5 8 to 21. And then Charlotte still fairly inconsistent as always. 8 through 20, 8 through 19s, 8 through 21, 77, 800s, with the 77 being the bulk of that. But 8 through 19s and 8 through 21 still sneaking in. 8 through 21 we get once every Saturday. So still a nice job there by American Airlines with all that mainline service. The United A320 is currently taxiing out to the runway right now as well for the flight on over to Denver after arriving in from, we'll say, Newark. There we go. Newark, these A320s aren't as common. That's predominantly a 737 flight. But Denver, we are getting this one daily A320, so that's super awesome to see. And they've been doing a very nice job with that. The United Express here is currently on this E170, and he's going to be heading on over to Washington Dulles on that turnaround service. Yeah, right, Washington Dulles on the turnaround service. Where this guy's going to be, I'm trying to remember all the routes off the top of my head. This is a very nice service. I think we're getting 3-4 daily flights here. So they've been doing a very good job with that. And then we have this United 77 MAX 8. This guy is currently coming in from Houston Intercontinental. He's going to be continuing on over to Chicago here. Houston, we're not getting these that often, just one every Saturday. The rest is a 8 through 19 dominant route. And then Chicago here, we're getting about 1 to 2 of these a day. So a lot more coming out of Chicago here. Once again, that is pretty much a 737 service. We are getting a daily regional flight on that E175, but that's about it. Still predominantly a 737 service right there. We got our 2 Breeze aircraft lined up as always. The A220 in the back is going to be heading on over to Richmond after arriving in from Tampa. And the Breeze E195 here is going to be heading on over to, we'll say Columbus after arriving in from Charleston, West Virginia. There we go. The Delta A220-100 is going to be heading out to Boston, one of 2 daily services, after arriving in from New York. LaGuardia, one of 3 daily services right there. Those have both been super strong. The Boston is all A220-100 routes, so that's super awesome. LaGuardia, mostly regional jets. We're getting about 1 of these. I think, how often are we getting these? Let me look. Where did I put that? There it is. We are getting these 1 a day, but still predominantly a regional jet service right there. We got this Delta CRJ 700 pushing back. He's funded for the CRJ 900 as always. He's going to be heading out to New York John F. Kennedy, one of 3 daily flights there after arriving in from Detroit. One of most of the days is 2 daily flights. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday. We are getting just 1 daily flight, and that daily flight is just an A319. But all the other days, it is 2 daily, 1 CRJ 900 operated by Endeavor, and then 1 A319. And then to finish it off, way in the back, we got the Delta 737-900. This guy's going to be making one of 7 or sometimes 8 daily services out to Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson International Airport. That is still an all 737-900 service, and it's super glad. I'm glad it's been that way, and I'm hoping it'll stay this way. Very nice service right there with all that frequency. So do we have a little bit of news to go over? Most of it is with Breeze Airlines. Pretty much all the other stuff we have gone over, but I will do a quick briefing on that once we do hit the main news. So Breeze, lots and ups, lots and downs. So Islip is now up to a 5-weekly. That's up from a 4-weekly. Orlando, both Orlando, Pittsburgh, White Plains, and Tampa are all down. Orlando is now a 4-weekly down from 6 weekly, so that's really sucks. That was really close to hitting 1 daily. Pittsburgh is now a 4-weekly down from a 5-weekly. White Plains, one of our daily services, down to a 6-weekly now. That was a 1 daily. And then Tampa as well, down to a 5-weekly from a 1 daily. So that was even worse. Lost 2 of our 1 daily services, which is very hard to find out here with Breeze. But we do have some good news to round that all up with Portland, Maine going up to a 3-weekly, so it's nice to see. That's a fairly new service. I think it's only been around for about 3 months, so glad to see that we're already at a 3-weekly. Also, West Palm Beach suspended. Unknown reasons. It's not a seasonal service. It's still on the still on the website, so it has been suspended. I don't know why. I'll try and see if I can figure out when it comes back. If it's not back next month, But that has happened. Quick recap before we finish things up on the other airlines. Southwest, their Houston and St. Louis service have returned, which is super, super awesome to see that those are finally back, those seasonal services. Allegiant as well has some news. We got the Cincinnati service now on an A320, and then once again Indianapolis. That seasonal service has ended. That's about it though for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe, as it really helped me out. And I will see you all in the next one.